Have you ever wondered why your food in high-end restaurants comes in such beautiful presentations? It's not just about making it look good, it's an art. It's the art of food presentation. This art is the careful crafting of food into a visually appealing feast for the eyes. It's the delicate balance of color, form, and texture. It's the meticulous placement of every ingredient to create a harmonious composition. But why all this fuss over how food looks? Well, it's simple. The visual appeal of a dish can stimulate our appetite and enhance our anticipation for the meal. It sets the stage for the culinary experience that awaits us. It's not only about the taste, it's about the whole experience. It's a feast not just for our taste buds, but also for our eyes. So the next time you're served a beautifully plated dish, take a moment to appreciate the artistry that went into it. Remember, we eat with our eyes first, so let's dive into the world of food presentation. Now that we understand the importance of food presentation, it's time to unravel the techniques that make a dish not just tasty, but visually appealing. Firstly, let's talk about color. Color adds vibrancy to a dish, and it's often the first thing that catches the eye. Think about a vibrant green salad or a colorful fruit platter. They're instantly appetizing. Chefs use a variety of brightly colored ingredients, from fresh vegetables and fruits to colorful spices and sauces, to create a visual feast. Next, the balance of shapes and sizes is crucial. A well-presented dish isn't just a random assortment of ingredients, it's a carefully crafted composition. Chefs play with different shapes and sizes to create a harmonious balance on the plate. They might use a mix of chopped, sliced, and whole ingredients, or arrange foods in a specific pattern to create visual interest. Then we have the arrangement of elements. This is where the chef's creativity truly shines. The arrangement could be symmetrical, with elements mirrored on either side of the plate, or asymmetrical, with a more organic, free-form layout. Some chefs even use techniques from visual arts, such as the rule of thirds or the golden ratio, to guide their arrangements. Last but not least, garnishing plays a key role in food presentation. Garnishes are like the finishing touches on a painting, adding that final flourish that ties everything together. They can be as simple as a sprig of fresh herbs or as elaborate as edible flowers and gold leaf. But remember, every garnish should serve a purpose, whether it's to add flavor, texture, or just a pop of color. So there you have it, a look into the world of food presentation techniques. From the use of color to the balance of shapes and sizes, the arrangement of elements, and the art of garnishing, each technique plays a pivotal role in transforming a dish from ordinary to extraordinary. So, these are some of the techniques that can turn a simple dish into a visual treat. Speaking of food presentation, have you heard about the Japanese art of bento boxes? This is more than just a packed meal. It is a carefully crafted symphony of tastes, colors, and textures that harmoniously unite to create an edible masterpiece. A bento box is a traditional Japanese meal that is as much a feast for the eyes as it is for the palate. It comprises elements like rice, meat, or fish, and vegetables, all meticulously arranged in a portable box. But what sets a bento box apart is not just what it contains, but how it is presented. In Japan, the bento box holds a significant place, not just in culinary culture, but also in daily life. It's the epitome of a balanced meal, mirroring the Japanese philosophy of harmony in all things. The composition of a bento box is carefully considered, with each element thoughtfully placed for maximum visual appeal. Now let's talk about the creative aspect of bento boxes. The art of bento box making is not confined to professional chefs alone. It has become a popular creative outlet for amateur cooks and even parents. Some take it a step further, transforming these boxes into edible works of art. Imagine opening a bento box to find a landscape of rice mountains, broccoli forests, and a bright yellow bell pepper sun. Or a cute little panda made of rice, its details outlined with seaweed, nestled amongst vibrant veggies. These are not figments of imagination, but real examples of what's known as kyaraben or charaben, a type of bento box where food is shaped to resemble characters, animals, or scenes. Kyaraben is often crafted by mothers in an effort to encourage their children to eat a balanced and nutritious meal. It's a beautiful testament to the lengths parents will go to ensure their child's well-being, and a perfect example of how food presentation can be both fun and purposeful. So, whether it's a simple lunch or an elaborate kyaraben, bento boxes reflect the Japanese principle of finding beauty in everyday life and are a testament to the power of food presentation. Bento boxes truly showcase how food presentation can be fun and creative. Garnishing is not just a final touch, it plays a crucial role in food presentation. And it's more than just a sprig of parsley or a swirl of sauce. Garnishing has the power to transform a dish, elevating it from simply edible to visually stunning. When we talk about garnishes, we're referring to those final additions to a dish that enhance its appearance and, in many cases, its flavor. Garnishes can be edible or inedible, simple or complex, subtle or dramatic. They can be as basic as a sprinkle of chopped herbs or as elaborate as a sculpted fruit decoration. Edible garnishes, like a lemon wedge with your fish or a sprig of mint with your dessert, can provide a burst of fresh flavor that complements the main ingredients of the dish. They're a way to add a touch of color, a contrasting texture, or a hint of extra flavor that makes the dish more appealing to the senses. Inedible garnishes, on the other hand, are all about visual appeal. Think of a cocktail umbrella in your tropical drink or a paper frill on the end of a chopstick. These garnishes don't contribute to the taste of the dish, but they certainly make it more fun and visually appealing. Garnishes can also be used to communicate information about the dish. For instance, a sprig of thyme might hint at the herbs used in the recipe, while a slice of lemon might suggest a tangy element in the dish. The key to successful garnishing is balance. The garnish should enhance the dish, not overpower it. It should be visually pleasing but not so elaborate that it distracts from the main event, the food itself. And of course, it should be thoughtfully chosen to complement the flavors of the dish, not clash with them. In the world of food presentation, garnishing is like the cherry on top of the sundae. It's that final touch that completes the dish and makes it truly memorable. So the next time you're preparing a meal, don't overlook the power of a well-chosen garnish. A well-thought-out garnish can elevate a dish from ordinary to extraordinary. You might think, does food presentation really affect the taste? Well, you'd be surprised. Picture this, you're at a restaurant, and the waiter comes out with 2 plates. One is a beautifully presented dish, garnished to perfection, the colors vibrant and inviting. The other, well, it's the same ingredients just dumped onto a plate. Which one would you think tastes better? Science suggests you'd likely lean towards the well-presented dish. Various studies have found that the presentation of food can influence our perception of taste. For instance, research conducted at Oxford University revealed that people rated the same salad as tasting better when it was presented like a piece of art, rather than just tossed together. It's not just about making food look pretty, though. The way food is arranged can also affect how much we enjoy it. A study published in the Journal of Sensory Studies found that when a dish was organized to promote a certain eating sequence, people enjoyed the meal more. Essentially, if the presentation of a dish guides you to eat it in a certain way, it can enhance your dining experience. Furthermore, food presentation can even influence how much we eat. Research from the University of Oxford found that when food was arranged to look larger, people ate less but felt just as satisfied. So not only can a beautifully presented dish taste better, it can also help us control our portion sizes. And it's not just the food itself that matters. The dish it's served on, the cutlery we use, even the environment we eat in, can all impact our perception of taste. In a study published in the journal Flavor, researchers found that people rated the same food as tasting different depending on the color of the plate it was served on. So next time you're preparing a meal, remember, presentation matters. It's not just about satisfying our taste buds, it's about creating an experience. Because at the end of the day, we eat with our eyes first. Indeed, a beautifully presented dish does taste better. Plating is like painting, but instead of a canvas, a chef uses a plate. The art of plating is a unique form of expression, where every element on the plate plays a part in creating an appetizing masterpiece. Imagine your plate as a blank canvas, a stage where each ingredient is a character that plays a role. The star of the show is the main ingredient, often the protein. It's usually placed in the center or slightly off-center to draw attention. The supporting cast of vegetables, grains, and sauces are arranged around it, each contributing to the harmony and balance of the dish. Now, consider the colors and textures of your ingredients. A mix of vibrant colors and contrasting textures can make a dish visually appealing. Bright red tomatoes, deep green spinach, golden seared chicken, or the silky smoothness of a puree. They all add a visual pop to your plate. The sauce is another integral part of plating. It's like the paint a painter uses to add depth and intrigue to a canvas. Chefs often drizzle or dot the sauce around the plate, or use it to create a pool for the main ingredient to rest on. Portion size is also crucial in plating. Too much food can make a plate look cluttered and unappetizing, whereas too little can leave it looking sparse. The key is to find a balance where each element on the plate has enough space to shine, but not so much that it feels isolated. And then there's the garnish. It's like the final brushstroke on a painting, the last note in a symphony. A sprig of fresh herbs, a sprinkle of sesame seeds, or a twist of citrus zest can add the finishing touch that brings the whole dish together. Remember, plating is not just about making food look pretty. It's about enhancing the dining experience by creating a visual feast that excites the senses even before the first bite is taken. It's about telling a story with food, where each plate is a chapter, and every meal is an adventure. Mastering the art of plating can truly transform a dish. It turns an ordinary meal into a culinary work of art, a feast for both the eyes and the palate. So, we've taken a journey through the art and techniques of food presentation. We've seen how it's much more than just arranging food on a plate. It's about crafting a visual symphony that tantalizes the eyes and tempts the taste buds. We started with an exploration of the various techniques involved in food presentation. From the way meats are tied or sewn, to the cut used in chopping vegetables, to the mold used in cast dishes, each step is a deliberate act of artistic expression. We then dived into the world of bento boxes, an example of culinary creativity at its finest. Originating from Japan, these portable meals place a significant emphasis on the aesthetic arrangement of food. We've seen how this can range from the simple and elegant to the whimsically inventive, with rice shaped into animals or other characters. This art form, known as kyaraben, is not just about creating an attractive lunch for children, it's about showing love and dedication through food. Garnishing, too, plays a vital role in food presentation. It's not merely an afterthought, but an integral part of the dish. Whether it's a sprinkle of seeds, a drizzle of sauce, or an ornamental topping, garnishes add that final touch of flair that can make a dish stand out. We also discussed how food presentation impacts our perception of taste. The way a dish looks can influence our expectations and ultimately our enjoyment of the food. It's about creating a sensory experience that engages not just the taste buds, but the eyes as well. And finally, we talked about the art of plating. This is where all the elements come together, where the plate becomes the canvas and the food, the paint. It's about balancing colors, textures, and shapes to create a harmonious and appetizing tableau. Next time you cook, remember, presentation matters. It's not just about taste, it's about creating a visual feast that enhances the overall dining experience.